Hollywood has a very specific way of telling you a film is bad. It's called the box office report, and for decades, audiences have trusted that number. If it bombed, it must not have been worth watching. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Some of the most extraordinary science fiction ever made lost money. A lot of it. Not because the films were bad, because the marketing was wrong. Because the release timing was catastrophic. Because audiences in 1982 weren't ready for a shape-shifting alien in an Antarctic research station. Because a 1985 satire about bureaucratic totalitarianism wasn't what studio executives wanted to sell. Today, 15 sci-fi films that the box office buried. Films with actual production budgets, actual losses, and a critical legacy that has only grown every year since they failed. 15 films. 15 failures that weren't. Let's go. Number 15. John Carter.
Let them be crushed.
Disney spent $263 million making this film. It made $284 million worldwide, which sounds like a win until you understand that they needed $600 million just to break even. The studio wrote off $200 million. The producer resigned. John Carter became the most famous box office catastrophe of the decade. Here's what nobody tells you. The film is genuinely excellent. A Civil War veteran transported to Mars, ancient civilizations at war, a princess who is not a damsel, she's a scientist, a warrior, the most capable person in most scenes she's in. Andrew Stanton, the man who made WALL-E, built an alien world that actually feels inhabited. Taylor Kitsch, Lynn Collins, Willem Dafoe voicing a four-armed Martian warrior without a face, and still delivering. The cast commits completely. John Carter invented half the tropes that Star Wars, Avatar, and a dozen other films later borrowed. It came first. It just came to theaters without anyone showing up, largely because Disney's marketing gave it no genre identity, no hook, no reason to care. The film they stayed home from was this one. Their loss. John Carter failed because nobody knew what it was. Number 14 had the opposite problem. Everyone knew exactly what it was, and still didn't go, which is extraordinary because it stars Brad Pitt, it's set in deep space, and it might be the most psychologically precise film on this list.
I recall how we used to watch black and white movies together, and musicals were your favorite. I remember you tutoring me in math.
Number 14, Ad Astra. Critics called it slow. Audiences called it cold. On $87.5 million, it made $135 million worldwide, a number that looks like profit until you factor in marketing, distribution, and exhibitor splits. It lost money. Brad Pitt plays an astronaut sent to Neptune to find his missing father, a legendary explorer whose lost mission may now be sending catastrophic power surges through the solar system. That's the plot. The film is actually about a son who chose the infinite over the intimate, and is only now reckoning with the cost. James Gray directs with total patience. A chase across the moon's surface, staged with zero music and near total silence, is one of the most tense action sequences of that decade. Pitt's internal narration carries the whole film. Quiet, fractured, self-aware. In a year that gave him an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, this was the better work. But nobody noticed. Ad Astra goes inward, into the psyche, into silence. Number 13 goes in the opposite direction entirely. Loud, visceral, furious. One of the most purely thrilling sci-fi action films of the last 20 years, and it didn't even make its budget back.
800 million people living in the ruin of the old world.
Number 13, Dredd. $45 million to make, $41.5 million worldwide. It didn't recoup its production budget. Came out the same year as The Dark Knight Rises and The Avengers. It was invisible. And it is one of the most perfectly constructed action sci-fi films of the 20s. Not almost perfect, not pretty good for its budget, perfect. One building, one day. A judge executioner named Dredd and a rookie psychic judge locked inside a 200-story slum block by a drug lord who's decided they can't leave. That's it. That is the entire film. Karl Urban never removes the helmet. Not once. Every beat of humanity, every flash of dry humor, delivered through jaw and voice alone. It is a masterclass in physical acting. And the slow-mo sequences, where a synthetic drug makes time run at 1% speed, are shot with the care you'd give to something genuinely beautiful. Because they are. 14 years later, it's the one people actually rewatch. That has to count for something. Number 12. Titan AE. Most people filed this under kids animation and moved on. I am here to tell you that was a mistake. It cost $75 million. It made $36.8 million. The losses contributed directly to the closure of Fox Animation Studios. An entire studio. Gone. Because audiences didn't come. Earth is destroyed. Humanity is scattered. One young man, son of the scientist who built the only thing that could save them, has to find a hidden ship before the aliens who destroyed his world finish the job. Don Bluth directed it. Matt Damon, Drew Barrymore, Bill Pullman, John Leguizamo voice it. The animation, hand-drawn technique blended with early CGI, still looks distinctive 2 decades later. But here's what matters. This film is about extinction, about whether a people with no home are still a people. These are not children's themes, and they are not handled like children's themes. The ice ring sequence is one of the finest pieces of animated action filmmaking of that era. It bombed. It killed a studio. And it is genuinely extraordinary. Titan AE is about the end of a world. Number 11 is about the end of humanity's understanding of itself. And it's the film a studio producer called too intellectual. The director refused to change a frame. He was right.
Did your husband contact you at any point while he was away?
No. It was his decision to go in.
Number 11, Annihilation. Paramount was so rattled by test screenings that they pulled it from international theatrical release and sold it to Netflix overseas. The producer called it too intellectual, too complicated. Director Alex Garland refused every note. Garland was right. Made for $40 million, it made $43 million globally, barely breaking even. A commercial failure by any studio measure. Natalie Portman leads a team of 5 scientists into the Shimmer, an expanding zone on the American coastline where the laws of biology no longer apply. Inside, evolution accelerates and recombines in ways that are beautiful and horrifying in equal measure. The final 20 minutes are unlike anything else in mainstream science fiction. Garland doesn't explain, he shows. And what he shows you will live in your head for days. Too intellectual. They were describing it correctly. They just thought it was a criticism. Annihilation is horror disguised as science fiction. Number 10 is philosophy disguised as science fiction. 3 hours long, $102 million spent, and a loss that still hurts to read about. One of the most ambitious films ever made.
This is the Cloud Atlas Sextet?
I doubt there's more than a handful of copies in all of North America.
But I know it. I know it.
Number 10, Cloud Atlas. The Wachowskis and Tom Tykwer adapted David Mitchell's supposedly unfilmable novel. 6 interconnected stories spanning 500 years. The same actors, Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, Hugo Weaving, Jim Broadbent, Ben Whishaw, Hugh Grant, playing multiple roles across every timeline. The same souls recurring through history. It cost $102 million and made $130 million globally. A loss once you account for everything the industry doesn't put on the poster. 3 hours, total attention required. What it gives back is a genuine argument about the shape of time and the weight of individual human decisions. That every act of courage or cowardice echoes forward into futures the person making that choice will never see. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars. Others called it pretentious and incoherent. Both responses were understandable. The correct one, though, is the one you arrive at an hour after it ends. When you realize you've been thinking about it continuously since it finished. That's what great films do. Number 9, Sunshine. I'll tell you exactly what this film is. Then I want you to understand why that description doesn't prepare you for actually watching it.
16 months ago, I, Robert Capa, and a crew of 7 left Earth frozen in a solar winter. Our mission: reignite the sun before it's too late.
2057. The sun is dying. 8 astronauts, the second mission, the last chance, are carrying a stellar bomb to reignite it. Danny Boyle directs, Alex Garland writes, Cillian Murphy, Michelle Yeoh, Chris Evans. It cost $40 million and made $32 million. For its first hour, Sunshine is the finest hard sci-fi film since 2001: A Space Odyssey. The physics is real. The psychology of isolation under impossible pressure is observed with precision, and the film builds an almost religious relationship between the crew and the star they're approaching. Because you cannot look directly at it. They can never look directly at it. Then it shifts. The third act changes genre in a way that has divided audiences for nearly 20 years. Some call it a betrayal. I call it a logical escalation of everything the film was already building toward. The final sequence with Cillian Murphy is one of the most visually overwhelming, emotionally annihilating things in science fiction cinema. It made $32 million. It should have made $300 million. The gap between those two numbers is one of the great injustices of modern cinema. After the cosmic and the overwhelming, number 8 is something completely different. Dark. Funny. A film that was so far ahead of its time that critics in 1985 spent the next 20 years catching up to it. Number 8. Brazil. Terry Gilliam made this for $15 million. It made $9.9 million in the US. Then Universal tried to recut it, a 94-minute version with a happy ending, and release it against his wishes. Gilliam sued. It is one of the most famous director-studio battles in cinema history. Gilliam won, and the film he protected is extraordinary. A retro-futuristic totalitarian bureaucracy. A low-level government worker who escapes his meaningless life through dreams until the dream bleeds into reality, and reality becomes the thing that might kill him. Robert De Niro plays a rogue heating engineer hunted by the state for fixing pipes without permits, and plays him like a guerrilla revolutionary. It is one of the strangest, most perfectly pitched supporting performances of the 1980s. Every frame of Brazil is constructed with the density of a painting. The ending Gilliam intended is devastating, and exactly right. Orwell wrote 1984. Gilliam made Brazil. They are companion pieces. One is a novel you should read. The other is a film you should watch immediately. Brazil is about a man who retreats into fantasy because reality is too brutal, and number 7 drops you into the most brutal reality imaginable. Los Angeles, 1999, 48 hours before the millennium. And it does it with a ferocity that, even now, is almost too much to process.
Have you ever jacked in? Have you ever wire-tripped? No? A virgin brain. Well, we're gonna start you off right.
Number 7. Strange Days. Catherine Bigelow directed this. James Cameron wrote it. It cost $42 million and made $7.9 million globally. One of the most catastrophic misfires of that decade. And it is one of the most ferocious, most prescient, most uncompromising science fiction films ever made. Los Angeles, 1999. A black market for squid recordings, devices that let you experience another person's memories and emotions directly. Ralph Fiennes plays a dealer addicted to replaying his own past, who stumbles into a conspiracy the LAPD needs buried. Angela Bassett plays the most capable person in the film, and she knows it. The film is about police violence, about surveillance, about who controls whose story. It was too raw, too angry, too specific for 1995 audiences. In 2024, it reads like journalism. Before the top 6, and before number 1, which is the reason I made this video, a film that critics in 1982 buried and that cinephiles have been rehabilitating ever since. And number 6, a film that everyone dismissed as dumb. They missed the point so completely, it's almost impressive.
To fight the bug, we must understand the bug. We can ill afford another Klendathu.
Number 6, Starship Troopers. Critics dismissed it. Audiences called it dumb. On $105 million, it made $121 million worldwide, a loss once you account for the full spend. And everyone who called it dumb missed the point entirely. Starship Troopers is a satire, a complete, deliberate, meticulously constructed satire of fascism, dressed in the uniform of the exact genre it's satirizing. The propaganda sequences are indistinguishable from real propaganda. The militarism is shot to be genuinely thrilling. The beautiful, wholesome cast marching off to war are framed like a recruitment ad. That's the trap. Verhoeven wants you to cheer for the mobile infantry. Then he wants you to notice what you're cheering for. Neil Patrick Harris in a literal SS uniform, playing it completely straight, in a film that is laughing at everything he represents, while making it look impossibly cool. Verhoeven grew up in Nazi-occupied Netherlands. He knows what propaganda looks like. He knows how seductive it is. He reproduced it with surgical accuracy. This film is more relevant now than it was in 1997. The answer it gives about freedom and security is not comforting. It was never meant to be. Number 5, Serenity. This film shouldn't exist. Firefly, Joss Whedon's beloved space western TV series, was canceled after 14 episodes. The fan response was so extraordinary that Universal agreed to fund a feature continuation. On $39 million, it made $38.9 million worldwide. Didn't even recoup its production budget. The crew of the Serenity are protecting one person, a young woman who was experimented on by the government and now carries a secret dangerous enough to send the Alliance's most lethal operative after them. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays that operative. He's one of the finest villains in the genre. Not because he's cruel, but because he believes, completely, coherently, and without a moment of self-doubt. The emotional stakes are real. People you care about do not all survive. Whedon directs like a man who knows he might not get another chance. He was right. Serenity is number 5 and not higher because the 4 above it operate at a different scale of ambition. But it is the one I'd hand to someone who's never seen any film on this list. The most immediately satisfying entry on here by some distance. Number 4, The Abyss.
There is something down there. Something not us. Not human.
Between Aliens and Terminator 2, James Cameron made the most technically demanding film of his career. At $70 million, it was the most expensive film ever produced at the time. It made $89.8 million worldwide, a complete loss. A civilian dive team, a sunken nuclear submarine, something at the bottom of the ocean that has been there far longer than any submarine. Cameron shot it in an abandoned nuclear reactor filled with 8 million gallons of water. The cast worked in near darkness and cold for months. Multiple crew quit. Ed Harris wept on the drive home most days. The shoot nearly destroyed everyone involved. What they made is a miracle. The water tentacle sequence, achieved without meaningful CGI, is pure craft. The scene where Ed Harris brings his estranged wife back from drowning through sheer refusal to accept it is one of the most genuinely affecting things Cameron ever directed. Watch the director's cut. 30 minutes longer, transforms the ending from a near miss into something that has not dated 1 hour since 1989. It lost money. Cameron nearly had a breakdown, and it is magnificent. The Abyss asks what happens when humanity meets something it can't classify. And number 3 asks the same question. In a city that exists only at night, where the architecture changes at midnight, and where one man wakes up with no memory of who he is.
How are you?
We might ask the same question. Yes. Sleep. Now.
Number 3, Dark City. Alex Proyas made this 1 year before The Matrix. The Wachowskis screened it for their crew before filming began. On $27 million, it made only $14.4 million globally. A complete commercial disaster. A man, a hotel room, no memory. A dead woman he may have killed. Outside, a city locked in permanent night. And at midnight, every midnight, the streets rearrange themselves, and strangers wake up as different people with different lives. Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly, William Hurt, Rufus Sewell as the man who is not supposed to be awake during the changes, and who can do something the beings running this experiment never anticipated. Dark City is about whether you are the sum of your memories or something that exists independent of them. It asks that question in every shot composition, every production design choice, every architectural decision, with a consistency that is genuinely rare. Roger Ebert called it one of the best films of 1998. He was one of almost no critics who got it immediately. Number 3, and not higher, because the 2 films above it are, by the narrowest margin, more complete. But the most visually inventive film on this entire list. Criminally, almost offensively underseen. Number 2, Gattaca.
This is the last day that you're gonna be you and I'm gonna be me.
By borrowing someone else's.
Congratulations. What about the interview? That was it.
In the near future, your DNA is your destiny. Your genome is your ceiling, your resume, your life sentence. The genetically optimized hold every position of power. The naturally conceived, invalids, clean their offices. Made for $36 million. It made $12.5 million worldwide. A devastating commercial failure. Ethan Hawke plays Vincent, an invalid who wants to go to space, who assumes the identity of a valid played by Jude Law, and who lives inside Gattaca's space program on borrowed DNA, knowing that one stray eyelash, one unexpected blood test, ends everything. Andrew Niccol wrote and directed this as his debut. Every frame is desaturated to near monochrome. Every space is clinical, angular, stripped of warmth. Because warmth is inefficient. The production design is doing the film's ideological work in every single shot. What Gattaca is actually about is refusing the limits imposed on you by birth. Vincent swims further than he should be able to because he never saves anything for the way back. That idea? That is the film in one sentence. It is one of the finest science fiction films ever made. Not of the 1990s, of the genre's entire history. Number 1, The Thing. John Carpenter made The Thing in 1982. It opened the same summer as E.T. Critics called it cold, cynical, a gross-out exercise with no heart. On $15 million, it made $19.6 million domestically, a number that looked like a modest success and functioned as a career setback. Universal effectively ended their relationship with Carpenter. The film they dismissed is the greatest science fiction horror film ever made. Antarctic Research Station. 12 men, an alien organism that can perfectly imitate any living creature it absorbs. No one knows who is still human. The paranoia is total. Kurt Russell plays MacReady, the man who, when everything collapses, applies the only logic left. Trust the process. Find it, burn it. Keep the process going regardless of what it costs. Rob Bottin designed the practical effects, the creature transformations, the chest defibrillator scene, the kennel sequence, the head that grows legs are 42 years later unsurpassed. Not dated, unsurpassed. 18 months of work that put Bottin in hospital from exhaustion when filming ended. The ending. I will not describe it. I'll tell you it's been debated for over 40 years that it is the only ending this film could possibly have, and that it will stay with you long after the credits roll. Critics were wrong in 1982. The film was not wrong. It now sits on virtually every list of the greatest science fiction films ever made, studied in film schools. Bottin's work is referenced every time anyone praises practical filmmaking. And that's the end of today's list. 15 sci-fi movies that crashed at the box office, but absolutely didn't deserve to. Now I want to hear from you. Which movie on this list surprised you the most? And is there another overlooked sci-fi masterpiece that you think deserved a spot here? Drop your picks in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to Cine Edge. Your support helps the channel grow, and I'll keep bringing you the best movie recommendations, hidden gems, and underrated masterpieces I can find. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.